Hi everyone and happy Monday. How you doing? I hope you're doing very well indeed. So this is an important one to do, I think, this Monday. I think lots of things have been going on in January and people kind of getting in their own way. Before we start, I have to say, when it comes to trainers and nutritionists, I'm probably the most unprofessional one you'll meet. That's a funny thing to say, isn't it? What I mean by unprofessional is, yes, you'll all get gorgeous emails and videos and all kinds of things from me, but I get involved in you. I know about your life story and you know about mine, and I get involved hook, line, and sinker, and I want you to do so well. And sometimes I'll be joyous, and sometimes I'll get frustrated, and I go through all the same emotions that you go through as well. Now, some people say to me, Anna, you should step back, you should be more professional, take some time out, create some distance. No, that's not how it works. I want to get under your skin. I want to press those buttons. I want to create a little bit of mayhem, because that's when change happens. That's when change happens. So I know that in January, work often can get in the way, tiredness can get in the way, life, sickness, the kids being ill, you might get flu yourself, all these things can happen. And I wanted to put a few things out there so that you understand, you know, when I give a certain reaction, where I am coming from. I understand completely how life can get in the way. I am a trainer and nutritionist that eats really well, does loads of exercise, but I have a few metabolic problems myself. Also, the reason I have gone online is my husband is also registered disabled, and I wanted to do more work at home so that I could look after him more when his back is very bad. He's had many spine fusions. Not many people might have known that, you know. So I understand what it's like. I've got a stepdaughter, we've got Oscar the Husky. You know, life can sometimes get a little bit crazy. It really can. But today's talk is about aligning yourself with what you want, and then kind of getting out of the way of yourself. So in January, we're so eager to achieve the results that we want. It's like we fall over our own feet trying to get there. Now, do you truly know what you desire? Let's get specific. Every time I do the Transform course, I say fill in that email and send it back to me with your stats, your measurements, your weight, you know, what's going on in your life. Give me as much information as possible. In January, I'm always chasing that email. I don't chase it any other time, but there's a reason why I ask you for that email. It's so that you get specific with you, that you get it straight in your head what you're truly wanting to achieve. And once it's in here, then the body will follow. Yeah, so as soon as you give a mental picture or a mental image of what you want to your brain, your body will automatically start aligning to that and working towards it. It's the way we work. It's just the way we work. So if you haven't got specific and haven't got down to the nitty-gritty of what you want to look like, what dress size will you be, how many inches will your waist be, how many pounds will you lose or gain, because I know there's a couple of you wanting to gain, what will you look like, move, talk, sound like? Is it going to change anything, or are you just going to be the same person in the same life? Get real about it. Really just hone in on the details. We want to know. And the body doesn't respond to vagueness. It responds to specific details. So I know that some of you get a little bit frustrated with me with all my questions and what do I want and why don't I do this, and have you thought of this, and how are you feeling, and I'm asking all these questions, and you think, oh, why doesn't this woman leave me alone? But I'm trying to give that mental picture to your brain so that you know exactly what you're wanting to achieve, you know. So when we're looking at aligning ourselves with what we truly want in a physical capacity, if you are not truly aligned, that's when self-sabotage can sneak in. Yeah, people often go the most complicated route forward. They just think, how hard can we make this for ourselves? And I want you to think about making it easy. I want you to think about doing things that you can maintain. So when people often come to the Transform, I'm giving you person-specific things to do. But if you're reading the lovely, gorgeous PDFs in my emails that I send you that have those little tasks in there for you to do, you will find that some of the stuff I ask you to do is really simple, but it works. And there's a reason for it being simple. If I ask you to drink, I don't know, a pint of milk first thing on a morning, is that a massive thing to do? It's not. Can you do it for the week? Yes, you can. Will it make a difference? Of course it will. You know, it's the same with the 2 litres of water. If you go to bed for a week early, every night for a week, will it affect your energy? Yes, of course it will. So even though these things seem so simple, they really work in developing health and well-being. Now, health and well-being is important to me because the better you feel, yeah, the easier the changes will be. The better you feel, the more open to new exercises and new ways of eating will be. Yeah. So I know that January as ever, there's been flu and colds and everything flying all over the place. And that's when I have to work very hard to pull you through that, because you're not feeling so good. And when you're not feeling so good, then you don't want to make any changes, do you? You want to hide away underneath your duvet and say, leave me alone, Anna. And that's when I've got to be coaxing you out, making sure that you're doing a little something. So it is paramount to me that you feel good. So, do you? Do you feel good at the moment? If you don't, come back to me. I don't mind if this is emotional, psychological, or physical that you don't feel good. You might have an emotional block or a psychological block. You might have a physical block as to why you're not feeling so happy with where you are now. And we have to change that. We've got to remove that block and have you feeling good so that you can move forward. And that's what being in alignment is all about. It's about removing the obstacles. So with Transform, it is 13 weeks long, and there's a reason for that. It's because we're going to come up against some obstacles, and the idea is to move around them. I am the most approachable girl you're ever likely to meet. So it doesn't matter what the obstacle may be, financial, emotional, physical, mental, it doesn't matter what it is. We will work around it, yeah, and just keep you going, yeah. So I will get involved, you know, I will, you know, get passionate. I will, you know, sometimes go, what are you doing? And I make no apologies for that, but you're quite happy to do it back to me. I will take it, you know what I mean? So this is a two-way street. It's a team effort. I am your best friend when it comes to personal training and nutrition. Think of me as your little personal trainer who's your best friend on your shoulder. There is no one who wants you to do it more than I do. Now, up on the Transform group, I actually posted a link the other day about Abraham Hicks, which is all about the law of attraction and things like this. But what I was reading or listening to in that really resonated with me. So listen to it. It's all about taking an easier route. It's about getting very specific about what you want, not about what you don't want. So people often focus on what they don't want. I don't want this belly. I don't want the bingo wings. I don't want the double chin. And so they really focus on that. And what happens then is, because they focus on the negative, they feel bad. Then sod it, I'll just have the cake because I feel like cack anyway. So what's the point? You know? So there's a bit of that going on. So I want you to focus on what you do want. I want you to focus on feeling good, and then you'll find it so much easier to keep on track. You'll find yourself moving forward. You'll find yourself getting out of your own way. Now, if there are psychological and emotional blocks as to why you aren't moving forward with all that you want to do and all that you want to achieve, you have to ask the question, do I want to change? Now, many people shout at me when I say this, and they go, Anna, of course I do. Of course I want to change. But the question is, a lot of people put a lot of pressure on change. So they say, when I am a certain size, I'll get a new job. When I look a certain way, I'll get a new boyfriend. And they put all these stipulations on that change. You don't have to be anything other than you. We just want you happier within your own skin. That takes the pressure off and it moves you forward. So I want you to focus on being happier. I want you to focus on feeling good. And I want you to get very specific today about what you truly want to achieve. I want you to get those notepads out, and I want you to write down what you want. I don't even want the sneakiness of what you don't want sneaking in there. This is all about what you want. And we can move forward from that. If you want to send me your list of what you want, please do. It helps me. The more information I have about you, the better, really. And I do love it. I do love all the information. So I thought I'd make no apologies for my passion. I know I do this for a living, but I'm not very good at doing jobs I don't enjoy. So I am passionate about this. Throughout my life, I've only done jobs I've enjoyed. Dancing, acting, singing, nutrition, fitness. It didn't matter what it was, just as long as I was loving it. And I just want you to love it too. If you need someone to shout at me. If you need someone to shout at you, I'll shout at you. It's whatever you're needing. But we want you to really be getting to grips with things, and I want you to stick with me for the 13 weeks, and I want to take you through and drag you through there. But what usually happens as a bit of a drag to begin with often ends up with you dancing over the line, because you feel so good, you've achieved what you wanted to do, and you're in a happy place, and that's where we want you. It's very, very hard to get out of your own way when you're feeling bad, when you're focusing on the negative. The other thing is, an email went out today, the Monday Motivator, saying, let's cheer up, you know, and I love it. Well, you might think I don't love it, but I do love it when this happens. I've been pressing a lot of buttons this week, and I know that January has been January blues time. It's been tough, and even Anna has been affected by this. So when the email was sent out, it said, let's cheer up on the title. And I give some really good advice and some things that you can do, you know, to help you. But I know that I had quite a few people have a knee-jerk reaction to that. In no way am I saying that those with depression should just cheer up. I'm not saying that, but the information in the email is still usable. When people have a knee-jerk reaction to something that I've quite innocently put out there, that fascinates me. I find that really fascinating, because it tells me more about you than it does about me, you know. but I know that you have other things going on in your life, and just be aware that I have other things going on in my life. So we react personally. But I want that. I want you to react personally. I want it to mean something. I don't care if you get angry with me sometimes. I want it to mean something. And when it means something, you can so move forward with your life and health and fitness and goals. There are many people in the Transform group now that have achieved their goals and have been staying there for some time. There's some of you that have done the 12, 13 weeks with me and are repeating it again to go further. There's some of you that have moved on with me to harder, tougher stuff, and there's some of you that are just starting out. I am here for all of you. We'll be getting to know each other really well, and you'll notice the ones that don't reply to me, I'm banging on your doors, aren't I? I'm ringing, I'm texting and everything. You cannot hide from me. You can't. I'm like a dog with a bone, and that's because I care, and I want you to care too. So your tasks for this week in getting in alignment with yourself and getting out of the way of your goals. I want you to write down what you truly want out of this, and I want you to get very, very specific. This is what I do in week 1, but I think it's good to keep doing it. It's good to get clear, you know. I don't want you to write down what you don't want. It's only what you want. I want you to visualize you in your head. What will you look like? How will you move? How will you talk? What dress size will you be? I want you to give that mental picture to your mind so that your brain and body can start working towards that picture. Also, if you are kind of finding yourself binge eating or having emotional eating or stress eating, I want you to acknowledge it. Be mindful, just acknowledge that you've jumped in the way of yourself. Now, here's the hard bit. This is the hardest bit. If this happens, I want you to sit and I want you to feel the emotion. I want you to feel it. Now, the fear of feeling it is often worse than actually feeling it. After a few minutes of feeling the emotion, it'll just dissipate and it'll disappear. Whereas if you suppress it with food, it'll come back again and again, like someone knocking on the door. It'll just keep coming back. So if you are suffering with self-sabotage and you getting in the way of yourself, I need you to feel that emotion. And it could, people say, well, I don't know why I do it. Maybe I'm bored. So if you're eating out of boredom, there's a sense of unfulfillment there that you have to acknowledge. Yeah, you might have, you go, I'm eating because I'm bored. You're going to have to find something to do, something that makes your heart sing, you know, so that you're busy, you're doing something else. But I want you to acknowledge that you feel unfulfilled at that time. You will find that feeling will disappear, and so will the hunger. Yeah. So we're getting in alignment. It's getting real, people. We're in February now. So January has gone. We're kicking January to the curb, and we're getting serious about it because I'm serious about it. I want you to be serious about it. We're going to have lots of fun and laughter. But I want you to get as passionate about it as I am. And I acknowledge that life gets in the way sometimes. My life gets in the way sometimes. But please don't take offense if I go, come on, or I get frustrated, or I want to kind of scream down the phone at you. Because I am just so, I can see the potential in people. I can see what's going to happen. Also, my lovely software that you are on is very, very clever, because when you give me your email and it's connected to your Twitter account or your any social media or even LinkedIn or anything like that, it brings up a little picture of you. So for those of you that go, why is she talking like this? She doesn't even know what I look like. But I do. So it doesn't tell me, you know, I can't go into your accounts, but it will bring up the picture. So for many of you, I do know what you look like. And of course, you're sending me your stats. And I'm seeing that, and I am always asking how people feel. It's a very important aspect of it. I need you feeling good. So with that in mind, please don't get frustrated when I'm texting you every 2 minutes, how you feeling, how you feeling. I need you feeling good, because that's when the easiest change is made. Yeah, the hardest change is made when you're feeling awful. It's hard to make changes then. So we're going to get out of our own way, and we are going to make some progress this week. Have a look at the link that I put up about getting out of your own way in the Facebook group. Listen to it. It will make sense. You'll understand why I am rabbiting on. But I hope you're well. Any questions at all, I'm here. If you've had a bad day at work, if the fella or the woman has upset you, it doesn't matter what you need to vent about. This is what I'm here for. So let's move forward. Healthy week, and I'll speak to you soon. Okay, bye.